Hey, I'm Erica Ziel, and today I'm going to share with you a postpartum exercise plan to help you get your body back after baby. So for starters, I want to remind you to be kind to your body and don't rush it when it comes to getting back into exercise and getting your body back after baby. If we rush too quickly, we can actually cause more harm than good on our core and specifically our pelvic floor. That said, I do want you to be aware of your breath work, your posture. I do want you to get moving because in those first weeks postpartum, you can lose a lot of strength if we don't do anything, okay? So some things that you can do is just focusing on your posture. When you're holding your baby, really try to lift tall and stand tall and use your mid-back, like think broad line. That's where I want you to feel like you're lifting and holding your body from. And then think about lightly connecting with your pelvic floor, low belly, so that you're using your deep core lightly to help support you throughout your day. And strap your baby to you and get walking. But most importantly is listen to your body. I'm gonna show you some exercises here in a minute, and I'm gonna take you through them because I want you to move, but I also want you to be really connected and really aware of, okay, am I feeling what you're saying? And if you're not, that's okay. I want you to visualize it because it's so much more than just about movement. It's about mindful movement and becoming more aware of what's going on with your body. I think that's what's so powerful about motherhood is that we can learn so much more about our body. So you can even get stronger after you've had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids than you were before you ever even got pregnant. So, okay, let's go ahead and get moving. So for this exercise, you'll want to have a chair, or you could probably do it with a countertop close by. But we're gonna go hands here, walk way back. This is really good for your deep core, for your hips, feels good on your back. So feet right underneath your hips. I don't want them wide out here unless you're pregnant, but this is for postpartum. So feet right underneath you. I want you to feel like you're lightly pushing in and pushing down so you feel this line connecting around to the ribs. Stick those sits bones, this is that bony part back here on your butt, back. And I want you to inhale and breathe wide. As you exhale, lightly draw that pelvic floor together. Start to tilt and push your feet into the ground and round your spine all the way up towards the sky. Keep pushing into your feet. Start to arch your low back so you feel some connection in the back of those legs. Open up across your chest. Now when you're here, I want you to challenge to stay lightly engaged through your core and around your ribs, and then we're gonna do it again. Pushing your feet into the ground, lightly draw up on that pelvic floor. Push your feet into the ground, round your spine, let your head hang right here. So we get rid of any of that tension in our upper back, and then keep pushing into your feet and your toes. Send the sits bones back, open up across your chest. Let's do one more of those. And press your feet in, pelvic floor, zip that belly up, round your spine, and then inhale and lengthen and come all the way here. Now, before we move out of this, I want you to check and make sure your glutes are lightly connected, your low belly's lightly on, and then zip up your belly. So that way when we go to move, we're not overusing our low back. We want to think under here and low belly. Okay, so let's move into some hip work on these. So just a little space away behind your chair here. We're going to lift our left leg, but I want you to zip up that low belly, lift that leg and kind of cross a little bit. And then we're gonna bring that leg back and really reach. So you're reaching through your toe, reach through your booty, and then use that low belly, so think pelvic floor, low belly, to bring that leg up, and then do it again. So we're getting those hips to be stronger, waking up our low belly, and reach. Good, so the slower you go on these, the easier it is for your balance, and for you to connect with where you're supposed to be feeling these, in those hips, low belly, lightly in the mid-back. Good. And if you don't feel it, that's okay. Visualize it, think about it. Just doing some nice, easy movement can feel really good for your body. Here's your last one. Reach. And then bring that leg back and switch. So you'll definitely be feeling a lot on that standing leg as well. Okay, so lifting that right leg, bring it across, lift with that low belly, and then we're gonna bring that leg back and reach. And then zip up here and reach that leg back. Really feel that wrapping around your hip. on the right side as well as that standing leg. Good, so connect more, pelvic floor, low belly, to bring the leg through and reach right around that outer hip. And come on up. Good, opening your chest here too. So we're lengthening our mid-back. Lift, keep these slow, really try to reach that leg, think long, think space through those hips. And last one. Hopefully you can start to feel a little bit of pelvic floor, low belly activation here. Okay, so from here we're gonna turn and do some squats. I'm gonna show you them first from the side so you can see what I'm doing with my pelvis, and then I'll show you from the front. And if you want, you can use a chair for support, but I don't think that you're going to need it. So feet right underneath you. I want them right underneath. And we're going to push energy down into our feet, a little bit into our toes, not too much, because we don't want our knees to go forward, right? We want to send our butt back, but think about working the underside of those legs. Glutes, hammies, without this happening and without that happening. Okay, so it's finding that kind of middle road where you're like, okay, I start to feel a little bit of the back of my legs and I'm lifting up out of my pelvis here, and you may not go very low. Okay, so it's not about how low you go in your squats. Stay up a little higher and let's do some little pulse squats here. Okay, so let's exhale. Zip up and lengthen, open your chest. Start to feel your breath go wide. Start to wake up those legs. Feel like you're pushing down into those arches of your feet and feel some connection in the outer hips and underneath. Okay, so keep going. I'm gonna show you from the front here. So feet, hip width apart, just little pulses, up and down, nice and slow. Exhale. Zip up. Good, and if you can go lower, challenge yourself lower, but watch and listen to what's going on with your pelvis, even if you're really high and you're barely moving, that's okay. Because I want you to wake up those glutes. It's really, really important. We have nice, strong, connected glutes and hamstrings to help support our pelvis and our low back. Okay, let's go ahead and come on up from here. I'm gonna turn the chair around. We're gonna go onto our back. Do a couple more exercises. So for these, anytime we're getting up and down from the ground, I want you to think about lightly connecting from your pelvic floor all the way up. So we're connected lightly in our core, whatever you can. We're gonna start on our side and then you're going to roll to your back. That way we don't put too much stress on our abdominals just yet. Okay, so you have two options for these. One, you can put your feet up here, or you can put them on the ground. Okay, and so you're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna show them up here just because these can feel pretty good, gives you a little bit more range, but you don't have to use the whole range of motion. So I want you to inhale, breathe wide. As you exhale, visualize lightly connecting with your pelvic floor, starting to allow your pelvis to tilt, but no glutes and hamstrings working yet. Zipping up, feeling this light wrapping around the ribs. Then, once you feel your low back touching the ground, you're gonna lightly press your feet into the chair or the ground, and then activate glutes and hammies, slowly peeling up one vertebrae at a time. You're only gonna go about halfway on that first one. So I wanna make sure you're out of your low back, legs are really working here, and bringing some awareness to those ribs. Inhale to hold, exhale, sink your ribs, roll on down. Nice and slow through here. Inhale, we're going to lengthen. Exhale, think lightly connecting through your pelvic floor, low belly. Then we connect lightly with the back of the legs. Slowly roll up, go higher if you can, otherwise stay within a range of motion that you can feel a little bit of connection, bringing the awareness to the front of the body. And then exhale, nice and slow, roll on down. Okay, we're just gonna do two more of these. Inhale, breathe wide. Exhale, think light pelvic floor connection. And then slowly roll all the way up and lightly lengthen through the top of the head too. Okay, push your arms down into the ground and exhale, sink your ribs to roll slowly. Good, one more time. And I know these are really slow, but it's really important that we move slowly through these so we can bring awareness to our core and we're not just forcefully moving with our back or our neck. And then exhale, sink your ribs, roll on down. Good, and then go ahead and release your legs. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get up, but I'm gonna have you think about lightly engaging through your core what you can, going to roll to your side and use your arms to help you get up as we move into our kneeling side reaches. Okay, I'm gonna move my chair out of the way so I don't hit it. Okay, so on these, our goal is to do, we're gonna do 5 of these on each side. And if this is too much, you can always, if it's too much on the hip to be up here, you can always just be on the ground and reach through the leg and do some little leg lifts. Really tiny, tiny leg lifts. So you wanna feel it here and zipping up and stabilizing through your core. We don't wanna do this. This is not very good for our back. It can actually lead to back pain. So little tiny lifts. You're gonna do 10 or so of those if the ones I'm gonna show you next are not feeling good for your hips. And it's really just because we just need to work on our deep core and our opening up our hips, because pregnancy really can lead to some tight hip flexors. Which is why I love this exercise, but sometimes you have to start on the ground. So I want you to wrap that hip, send your hips forward, wrap through here. So you're pushing. We have lots of oppositions happening when we do this. Okay, then zipping up your core, bring this leg up, and we're gonna reach back. Inhale, breathe wide. Exhale, start to zip up pelvic floor and start to round your spine. So you're round, 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 and then inhale, I want you to open, reach through the hip, bring that arm back. You can also turn your head down if that feels better. And then exhale, zipping up, round your spine. Good, and if only 2 or 3 of these is all you can do today, that's okay. You can pause and move on over to the other side. Reach, just start wherever you can today, do what you can. And open, we'll do 1 more here. And then I want you to just finish on that last one and reach. Good, and then come on down, sit on your hips to release them. And then let's try the other side. And again, same thing, if this hip is feeling too tight, you'll do the ones on the ground, just the little leg lifts to start with. Okay, so wrap this hip, send your hips forward. So we're really opening, reaching, that bottom palm is pushing into the ground because we want that fascial opposition here. Reach that top leg, reach it back. Exhale, zip up, pelvic floor, low belly. Round that spine, bring elbow and knee together. And then inhale, open and reach back. Exhale, zip up, pelvic floor, low belly. And you might notice one side feels a little bit easier to connect. That's okay, that's very normal. Maybe next time you start on the side that feels a little bit more challenging, and you could always do an extra set on the harder side, or the side that you need a little bit more connection or stretching on. Gotta reach, really reach through those arms. This is a really good chest opener, and squeeze in that hip. Last one here. And then finish and just reach open, 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 and then go ahead and release on down. Okay, so those exercises, it's a good mix to kind of get some energy flowing, start to wake up that deep core, and just remember, always listen to your body and think about being mindful of how you're moving throughout your day, how you're breathing, how you're connecting with your pelvic floor, and just getting some light movement in can really, really go a long way in those initial postpartum months.